Hello everyone, and welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix. So it is of course then Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix, as I said, Apex Online Racing then for my league race, and as always you join me on my outlap for my best qualifying lap. Then as you can see is the final lap of the session. I've already set a 1 minute 31.430 and Ownage just pinned me to pole on a 1 minute 31.417, so less than 200ths in it, in fact about, what's that, 13 thousandths of a second in it at the moment. But hopefully be able to improve it on my final lap then. Well, I do improve it, I've already basically told you that. But can I improve it by enough to beat Ownage? It's always very, very close. My first lap was already pretty good. Not too sure what my PB was, but hopefully I'll be able to improve it a little bit more and get close to my PB, whatever that was. Again, not sure. Anyway, using all my curves now then for the run to the line. DRS is now wide open then for the run down the start finish straight. Just start making it across the line there before the time runs out. Ownage is just ahead as well, I believe. So we're going to just reach level up to then for the turning. Just turn in, keep DRS wide open, brake just as you reach the end of the curve on the right. So then right down to second gear, get it turned in nicely. Just missed Apex ever so slightly. They ran very wide there, all over the curb, but get away with it. Full throttle for the first time, then flick it down to fourth, take lots of curve on the second hander, just on the second right hander rather, just about missed the curb there, missed my Apex a little bit, but not too bad. And full throttle then for this next corner here, absolute full for here, a little bit wide though, it's going to cost me a little bit of time, so it wasn't a perfect first sector. Pretty good though, I can't really complain, maybe half a tenth, maybe a tenth down on my best, and there we go. Probably could have gone at least a tenth faster than that, I'd imagine. Right down to second gear now, careful not to cut or extend these corners, very easy to take it very, very close to the margin on the inside there, but plenty left on the table on the outside. Braking then very carefully into this hairpin, very easy to lock an inside wheel, managed to get it nicely, just hit my Apex sweetly, a little bit oversteer on the exit there. One again, wasn't perfect, but not bad at all. I can tell you on the previous lap I was 2 tenths up in the middle sector, so a long way up in the middle sector at the end of the middle sector, but unfortunately made a mistake in the final corner, which meant I didn't move my time. A little bit of correction now the entry, pretty sweet corner there, right down to second gear, quickly up to third, hard on throttle now then for the run down the very long back straight then, using all of my curves very thin, lots of elevation changes, and relatively long as well, including 130R, and I am actually now almost a tenth and a half up then in the middle sector, so I'm on for pole position. That's purple, fastest of anyone then. Just need to nail these final couple of corners then. I'm on for a 3 dead, 1 minute 31.3 dead, and it's looked pretty good there, almost off the track there. It gives you a it disallows your lap there if you go a little wide, but now I'm just going to open DRS then for another couple of meters to the line, and can I do it? It's a 1 minute 31.332. I can indeed. That's me on pole position then for the second race in a row. Yes, I was on pole position in Singapore, wasn't I, as well? So very happy with that, can't complain about that at all. And Ownage in second there. I can tell you though, he was on prime tyres, so very good job from him there. Not much difference in the tyres apparent in this race. And Granny doing a good job there to get up to third place. Pretty tight between him and Gaston as well. Of course, one of the new guys, very, very fast as well. So then, straight to the race, straight into my setup. 4-1 wing, so quite a high front wing, but very low rear wing to help win the straights. 51-49 high large brakes, 111 balance, 1111 suspension, full gears behind the last couple. And full left camber, full right toe then, so just going to 51-49 mostly now, just to help with locking inside. And you see there is wet as well, I already haven't mentioned that. Starting on intermediate tyres, but not high, only a 31% chance of raining in the race as you can see, and the game wants me to pit every about 5 laps or so. So let's really hope that this race dries up really, really quickly, because every 5 laps is just utterly insane. So on the grid now then, so it will of course be a wet start then, so it should be interesting. Need to try and get away from the line cleanly if I can. So now I've got control of the car then, and just waiting for lights to come on. I'm going to go to lean while I'm sat on the grid here, don't waste any fuel. We're now going to go to rich then now, 4 lights, 5 lights then, and they're out then, so straight away coming away from the line then, trying to minimise wheel spin, doing a reasonably good job of it, and just shifting up a little bit too early there, you heard. Going to use a bit of curse now, cut across Ownage there. Don't think it was quite up to me there, very close indeed, but couldn't allow him to get up the inside there, so had to defend that, which I've managed to do nicely, and that allows me to stay into first position then into the first corner quite sweetly with my half decent start there. And now we're just coming for the S's then, first sector of Suzuka. Pretty much quite a famous sector really, because it's just constant S's. Left, right, left, right, left, right. You're constantly turning, lots and lots of G-force, lots of downforce needed. And as you can see that Ownage not too far behind me, but a little way already. 6 tenths already after the first sector, that's not bad, I'll take that. But all very wide, they're almost in the gravel. Ownage did the same thing by the looks of it. Just a little bit too deep there, of course, heavy fuel and having been on intermediate tyres, so it's easy to make mistakes. I run deep there once again, it's not been ideal at all. Need to get a sweet exit there, which I managed to do nicely. And looks like, who's that? Is that Raiden? Have a look at the inside of Ownage there. Ownage obviously not had a great hairpin, and are they still side by side? Just missed that then. I think they might still be side by side, you know. Is Raiden still at the inside? We'll find out in just a second. No, he isn't. So Ownage managed to stay ahead there then. Just about look how close Raiden is to him, then so he might be able to get past him down the straight with a bit of slipstream, and if he saved a bit of curves as well. Then looking at me up, he's falling back just a little bit, but lots and lots of slipstream available then. And Ownage has fallen back to over a second to be already then. It's looking good, and just 3 tenths between him and Raiden. Very, Very, very close indeed. And just a little bit deep, well, very deep for me there, all over the curb. Compromised heavily on the second part of the chicane there. Just a bit of drifting at that final corner means I'm not going to get a great exit and not going to get great speed down this straight. And up through the gears there. Sorry, something going on my throat, but only just still ahead of Raiden there, just 2/10 now. So very, very close indeed. He might just be able to squeeze past down the straight, does he? I've run very deep there though, right off the track, and just about managed to keep it in the right line. So Raiden did manage to get ahead and almost managed to get me there as well. Very, very close indeed. And completely my mistake there, just brake way, way late and almost getting straight off the track, but luckily managed to, of course, you get auto braking, which basically applies the brakes for you, full blast, and locks your tyres and pushes you right wide. So luckily, I just about, I got very wide there, get away with it though. But luckily, just about managed to keep one wheel on the white line to stop it doing that. But lost, well, I was over a second ahead of Ownage, wasn't I? So I lost a good chunk of time there. And already up to 8/10 so from Raiden, managed to pull out a lot on him. Of course, it was right down to nothing, it wasn't after that first corner, so all that has been done in the first sector. Which is very close behind him then at the last count. Coming through the hairpin now, I need to get a sweet exit if I can. Which I've managed to do nicely. And just extending the gap now to Raiden behind, which is always good. Half my curves left as well, so plenty of curves left to use down the start-finish straight, so just need to try and avoid making mistakes now. I had a nice big gap, healthy gap building there, but unfortunately made that mistake and threw all of it down the drain. But here we go on the exit, using all of my curves now. There we go, all of it is used, and looks like a nice big gap once again to Raiden then. Only got Ownage for very close company though. And what's the gap? It's 1.5 seconds, just a tenth though between him and Ownage, so very, very close indeed. But hopefully he manages to defend, because generally Ownage will be a bit faster than Raiden, so if he can hold him up and I can pull away, that would be wonderful. Let's see if I can do that. It was the sweetest chicane there, managed to brake at just about the right time. And coming across the start-finish line now then, just had a 1 minute 39.377. And 1.8 now then to Raiden, who did manage to stay ahead of Ownage there. So we're going to skip ahead from lap, well, what was effectively lap 3 to the end of lap 5 then, which of course is when I'm due to stop. Every 5 laps I'm due to stop. So I expect we'll come in the end of this lap. You just saw a brief glimpse there of my very worn intermediate tyres. Try and get also down to a couple of stabs at the turn in there, just trying them very early because I know how worn these tyres are. Drifting into the pit lane then, and 3.3 seconds to Ownage then. Looks like he's managed to get past Raiden, but got held up quite heavily. So 3.3 second gap, and it looks like Dark lost destroyed his vehicle. An instant safety car there. Safety car deployed once again then. That's 2 safety cars, and I'll get delayed in the pits really heavily. Almost 2 seconds in the pits get delayed there. Doesn't cost me any positions. No, Ownage just still sat there in his pit box as well, luckily, and he's get held up. Looks like maybe even worse than me. And where is he? There he is now. So he really got held up heavily, but that doesn't really matter. But I think he might, yeah, he lost the position there to Gaston Rivero. Look, you can see that. He's up to second place, so he lost the position to him, but didn't really lose any time, of course, because now the safety car slowed me right up. So would have been a wonderful there for me if the safety car didn't come out. Would have gained about 5 seconds on the cars behind, but it is another safety car period then. We had one of those just a couple of races ago, wasn't it? What track was it we had that on? Can't remember. Nope, it's gone. Yes, I can. I think it was Singapore, wasn't it? Was it Singapore? I don't know. I'm completely guessing. But anyway, end of the safety car period now. We're skipping ahead. Not going to want to watch the boring safety car period. And you can see safety car in this lap, which means I effectively become the safety car. So just going to try and keep my tyres nice and up to temperature now then. And like I said, back in the pack right up as if I'm the safety car. So hopefully then I can stay ahead of Gaston here. Just launch on the minimap. Look at the black dip, just a bit of wheel spin there. Just trying to get one more rears up. Look at the minimap. The temperature on the right hand side. The rears are actually starting to cool down a bit as I've gone now then, but looks of it right onto first, get it turned in, ran wide already though. That was not an ideal chicane at all. But I should be okay as long as I get a decent exit. Drifting it there on the exit, but get away with it. So a little bit of a gap as well to Gaston, which is good. There we go, 6 tenths and a further 6 tenths between him and Ownage then. So that'll do. 2 minutes 22 lap there behind the safety car, very slow indeed. And just slowing it right down now then. Taking it easy, of course I don't really know where the grip is. It's only intermediate tyres, only just ran wide there straight away by the looks of it. But I've got Gaston very close company, but luckily he'll be all over my dirty air through this sector, which is certainly not ideal for speed. And look at it though, it's stopped raining. I haven't picked this up till now. It has actually stopped raining, so this track's still waiting. See a bit of spray come off the tyres there, and they're not overheating as such, so it isn't dry yet, but it's certainly going to dry out very soon. Turn it in nice and early there, just to avoid corner cutting. And once again, they're very close to the line, but avoid actually cutting the corner. And of course, to compare in the first sector there, not really a huge surprise there. It's still 6 tenths between me and Gaston, and a further 6 tenths between him and Ownage then. Looks like he might have gone a little bit deep in that hairpin though, but a bit of oversteer on the exit, compromised my exit for sure. Just going to stand down and used to have my curves more or less on the exit of that. And is it time for slicks already, for dry tyres? These tyres, look at that, lots of unders, straight off the track there. These tyres are not giving good grip at all. And you see the front right is starting to overheat already then. So I think already it might be time for a set of slick tyres here. Even if the safety car's only just pulled into the pits, I think it's time already. And gone purple there, unsurprisingly, for the middle sector. And 1.1 to Gaston now, so a nice little gap there. And I think I'm going to box this lap, you know. Looks like there's a bit of a gap between Ownage and Raiden behind him, which will certainly help me. Hopefully I won't get held on the pits. And do I pit? I do indeed then. So I want to come into the pits then for a brand new set of tyres. And what is it going to be? I presume it's going to be primes. I think I already selected that. So, do I get held on the pits? I really hope I don't. No, I get away with it this time. 3.1 second stop. And I don't get held up. Very close to it, but managed not to. And looks like Ownage just stayed out then. Ownage is currently leading this race. He stayed out on his, I presume it was on intermediate tyres. I didn't see him changing. And was a big surprise there. So he stayed out. And I'm going to carry on. So, is it ready? Usually I'm not very good at these weather calls, but looks like I might nail this one. This seems to have good grip already. Even though the tyres are cold. Looks like already. This is about right in terms of grip. Yeah, look at this. This is fine. No problems. No problems at all. So, yep, I made the right call, definitely. One more lap would have been one lap too many. Because this first sector is probably maybe just about into the intermediate tyres, but this middle sector and definitely the final sector will be definitely dry. So, 15.8 down there. See how much I gain in this middle sector with these slick tyres. And just more or less 10 seconds to Jack first there. And I know I've got a appalling memory, but we'll see if I can remember that. 15.8 and 10 seconds is nice and round, nice easy to remember. So we'll see if we can get away with that. 15.8, 15.8, 15.8. Just trying to remember it there. Tyres are already up to temperature though, so showing that it is pretty much a dry track. A little bit of spray off the tyres then, but not a huge amount. Just a little bit. So this corner was a particular corner I struggled with on the inters, and look at that. Plenty of grip now, no problems whatsoever. Got lots of curves now as well. Nice big gap as well to Gaston behind. I think he must get held up heavily in the pits, so I got very lucky there not to be held up. And can I see that was 15.8, it is now 14.8, so a second of gain in that middle sector alone. And 6.7, so gained 3 seconds on Jack first ahead then, so definitely should be ahead of Ownage. I'd be amazed if he's ahead of me after this pit stop. And went up cut the corner there. Game just advertises that fact. And fair enough, that was over the white line there. And the car still continuing around. Looks like it's Tremium. Is he going to go another lap on his intermediate tyres? Surely not. And Ownage there just behind me, so you can see plenty of gap to him, but no one between me and him. But looks of it, looks like he's managed to. Yep, he's managed to get out then ahead of everyone else behind him. So because of everyone got held up in the pits, that's unfortunately meant that Ownage is now right behind me effectively. Oh, a little bit of a gap, but he is behind me. It would have been better to no one to get held up. Then he would have been another 3, maybe even 4. Well, 2, maybe up to 4 cars between us, which would have been nice. But there we go. So now we're on to lap 10 then of 27. We've already had the wet weather. And we're now on prime tyres. There's another corner cut there. I need to be careful of that. But still, of course, getting used to this grip level. Understeer that actually into the next part of the corner and ended up running wide. But need to get used to this grip level now. Because, of course, used to having full wet tyres and heavy fuel. So the fuel's coming off, getting lighter, getting a bit faster. And, of course, now I've got these slick tyres that are going to be a lot faster for me. So then I think it's about 7 seconds, wasn't it, more or less, to Tremium ahead. So he must be coming in this lap then, surely. Surely he's coming in this lap. But actually he's not really too slow, and this track is pretty much dry now, so I think he might have even gone for prime tyres, and I can tell you with the benefit of hindsight that he did indeed go for, I think it's a set of prime tyres, it's definitely slick tyres. So during the safety car period he actually pitted for dry tyres, so awesome call by him there. But he's now leading this race by a good margin, 7 seconds, so 3 seconds between me and Ownage too, so need to work on closing that gap down, because now we're just in a fair fight. He's only pitted about 1 lap or so earlier as Dark Lord disconnects there. He's the one that crashed, of course. So I need to work on closing this gap down, because otherwise he could actually end up winning this race in a complete shock, because the 35.5 I managed to do there. That's the fastest lap of the race, confirmation there. And only just 3.4, so we lost further time to me. And you can see here I've managed to catch right up to Tremium then, 5 laps give it. And so it looks like I was just over a second lap quicker than him on average. And right up behind him now then. DRS saying I've looked a little comes inside here, but no, not quite going to be fast enough. Gear race, which is a little bit too short, but he's run wide there, so I'm going to look up his inside again. Well along inside him here, but no, he's going to manage to stay there. So nice clean driving from him there, a little bit wide, but he managed to hold on to the position, that's the main thing. So still 3 seconds to Ownage then, so over the last, very close there, just touching Tremium's gearbox. And I'm going to look up the inside here, trying to sneak through, but no, that's not going to work. I think I pushed him there as well. I was so much faster than him that I just want to just sneak past. And we both get on with our races then, but it's not quite worked like that so far. But here's another competitor at his full position, so I'm not going to ask him to move over or anything silly like that. He's run a little bit deep there though, so he's going to be compromised on the exit here. I've lost a second in that first sector, then I'm going to have a loose bit of curves and get right up alongside him here. He'll be on the grass there when I'm braking, shift around after first gear. Can I get it all slowed down? Just about. And looks like that might be moved down. It is indeed. Better exit than him as well. So I lost a second there, unfortunately, in that first sector alone to Tremium, and lost obviously equivalent to Ownage as well. So it's definitely compromised me relative to Ownage, who, of course, despite these disconnection, was it in the last race? Yes, no, last race 4 wasn't Korea. So despite his disconnection there, he still very much in his championship hunt. He's still very much my championship rival. So that's the only person I'm really concerned about. But I'm back into lead this race now after Tremium's awesome strategy call. And I am due to pit this lap then. So will I pit this lap? Certainly prime tyres, I imagine I will. Just 1.1 seconds then. Just 1.5 seconds between me and Ownage effectively. He has got Tremium between us, so hopefully that'll compromise him. And I don't pit then. I've decided to stay out for another lap, and I will tell you why once again, benefit hindsight. I'll tell you for why. It's because I pitted on, what was it, lap 5, 6, no, I pitted on lap, I think I pitted on lap 7 for those tyres. I just skipped to the end of the lap there. Lap 7 for those tyres, I'm coming on lap 17, so I've only done 10 laps on them, and I will need to do a further 10 laps on the next set then. So rather than do 9 laps on the first set and 11 laps on the second set, I decided to push it a little bit longer, just so I can do 10 laps. But of course, Ownage and Tremium pitted then, so they will both have the undercut on me, so they might be passing me. It'll be very close. This is them coming down the pit straight now. It can be very, very close indeed by looks. So I've gone to standard fuel for now, and I've straight away realised then, gone to Rich. Going to use my curves as well on the pit exit, but looks like it might just sneak past. It's going to be very close indeed. Looks like he's passed me. We'll have a look on the inside now, so I can sneak through, but no chance. And unfortunately, that's allowed them both through then. So the undercut, just enough there to allow them both to sneak through. Probably at 2 seconds or so I lost on that last lap, because heavy tyre wear, and already been taken by surprise with this these grippy tyres. Cutting a couple of corners there marginally. And again, they're all over the curb, just because his tyres got so much more grip. And he's half spun there. And did Ownage get any damage then? There was definitely contact on my screen, but I'm not sure what happened on their screen. But Tremium there having a half spin right in front of Ownage. Nothing Ownage could have done about that at all. And just half a second now, so it's costing him a bit of time. But don't think it damaged his car. And once again, benefit of hindsight, I can tell you that on Ownage's screen, at least Tremium ghosted at the very last second. But on my screen, you saw there, he didn't ghost at all. But at the very last second, Tremium ghosted. Luckily, spun the right side of the track for me. I could just go on the outside of both of them. Oh, of course, Ownage was still carrying on, but go on the outside there of Tremium and get away with it. But he's still behind me, but he's lost a good few seconds there. So he was once again back into lead this race effectively once Gaston pits ahead of him. So awesome job of him once again, but unfortunately making that mistake there and cost him a good few seconds. But that's allowed me and Ownage to have a nice clean fight now then, so hopefully I'll be able to close up to him and hopefully get the move done. And I'm all over this slipstream right now, only half a second back. Then look how much I'm gaining on him in this slipstream here. Could have been relevant very soon. Not quite actually into the relevant. Just have a look at the inside there to scare him. I think managed to get it slowed down nicely though. Taking a nice lot of curve through both of these corners, making sure I don't cut the corners out. And get on the exit now then, up through the gears. DRS is now wide open then, of course, DRS, and I'm going to have slipstream as well, so going to be very close to him. Gaston's pitted now as well, so this is now officially a battle for the win. We'll lead the race at least. And just getting close in on there, but not close enough. Just trying to get to the inside there to avoid the dirty air. As soon as getting the dirty air there, went up right all over the curb there. And once again, all over these curbs here, just trying to avoid the dirty air, trying to desperately get away from it, turning too early there. Just about managed to keep a wheel on the line there, but close battle them two mirrors coming up. I expect there's only 8 laps to go, so I expect it'll be a very, very close battle between me and him now. Hopefully I can manage to sneak past, but we'll see how it goes. And let's get a little way down now. Just get flicked to the inside there and can't get it quite slowed down. That's going to push me right out into the gravel, and that cost me a good few seconds there, I'd imagine. And I can tell you there what happened. I went a little bit wide in the first part and ended up hitting the curb, or just getting caught on the curb really on the second part, which for some unknown reason then flicked me to the right hand side. And then of course I was on a far from optimal racing line, having already been too late to usually brake. I'd usually brake earlier than that, but so straighten the car up, got on the brakes, which is already too late, and then just couldn't get it slowed down with braking late, combined with my far from optimum racing line, and unfortunately cost that mistake there. I think if I either was on the racing line or I was braking at my normal point, either of those things happened, I would have been okay, but both of those combined just pushed me into the gravel and unfortunately pushed me back from Ownage, and the gap is now more or less 3 seconds then, unfortunately. So I've straight away then lost, well, I was about a second behind him, so I've lost at least 2 seconds in that incident there. Completely my fault there. I'm taking lots and lots of curb there, I need to be careful, don't take too much. And definitely not ideal, but I do know that Ownage's tyre wear is not good. He's pitted 1 lap for me, and I know his tyre wear is definitely not the best. Mine should, in theory, be better than him in terms of tyre wear, so I thought about conserving, but instead I decided to push. And you can see here, just a few laps later then, I think that's only about 2 or 3 laps later. Is it? No, a couple more than that. Yeah, about 2 or 3 laps later. Locked up inside tyre there. I'm already 2.4 seconds. I've gained half a second on in the straightaway, but he's coming to the pits there. So he has had to do an alternative strategy then. So I will now effectively cruise. And Tremium behind me, which we know probably isn't quite as fast as me. So 5.6 second gap, so plenty of gap to him there. As we now skip straight away into the lap 26, the penultimate lap. You can see there, my front left particularly is very, very worn. And the tyres haven't quite fallen off the cliff yet, but I've got a nice big gap to Gaston behind. 6.5 seconds, so 2 laps then. And you see there, just no grip from the front left tyre, barely at all. Just trying to get on the power there on the exit, all over the curbs. And let's see again, another right-hander. Look at that, just right out wide there, touching the grass even. There's just no grip from these front tyres now, they really are gone. And I told you the idea of pitting like Ownage did, but I thought, no, I think I can make it to the end without too many issues. I know my tyres will be gone by the end, but it will only be a lap or two right at the end, because I'm only stretching the tyre wear really life by an extra lap, maybe 2, so it could be worse certainly. And this corner in particular is very, very bad with a one front left, because it's just off camber. You're coming into it with a lot of speed, you're braking on entry, it just invites understeer through there. And Ownage has actually managed to get within 10 seconds of me then, so he's managed to gain 10 seconds on me in the last, 5 laps or so. Because the pit stop generally cost you about 20 seconds, so he managed to gain probably around 10 seconds on me. Very good achievement from him there. And just coming through then, spoon curve. I actually know the name of this corner. It's not often I know names of corners, but I do know this name. And the front right isn't too bad at the moment. I expect it will be gone off. Looks like the front left is now gone. By the look of it, it's very red on the right hand side there. But the front right doesn't look too bad. It's bad, but it could certainly be worse. So I think we'll get away with it, and if this gap is still over, say, 5 seconds, we should have no problem whatsoever. And it's actually still over 6 seconds, braking quite early there, and I'm a couple of stabs at the turn in. Just don't know how much grip to expect when I get there, so having to be quite cautious on everything. And I'm now effectively going to have 6 seconds then to run the final lap in, so I can run 6 seconds slower than I did last lap. So even if the tyres completely go off, as long as I don't get a puncture, I should be totally okay for the win then. For the final lap of the race, 5.8, so just under 6 seconds then, but still not too many issues. Look at this, just no grip from the front right tyre, right down to second gear, and really just could not get the car to turn then. Once again then, look at that, even wider this time. The tyres are even worse. The rears aren't too bad, luckily, so the rear end isn't really stepping out on me. It's just pure understeer, particularly in this first sector where the tyres overheat as well. So not only are they really warm, but they also overheat like a good one. So, but looks like I've not lost too much time though. Maybe a second, maybe 2. There we go. 7 tenths I lost in that first sector alone, but that's okay. I'm not too worried. Breaking even earlier this lap then, and still end up running very wide there. 5.2 seconds. So lost a lot of time to Gaston. Then it's just 2.2 between him and Ownage then. So Ownage might just not be able to nip him if he has a. Well, probably if Gaston makes a mistake, and once again running wide there. Look, just no grip from these tyres now at all, but that doesn't worry me. I'm just concentrating on not making any mistakes. It's very, very easy to lock a tyre when these tyres are this worn. Just get the brakes a little bit too heavy, and they just lock up, even at high speed, and cause you to go straight on. So just really concentrating on not locking the tyres a little bit wide there, all over the curb. But you heard that, just being have to be so patient on the throttle there, right out to the outside of the track, and have to be so patient. And looks like Ownage is very close to Gaston actually, probably within a second or so, somewhere around there. So in the slipstream, I don't know, it might be just over a second, probably just far enough that Gaston's going to be safe. It's going to be close though. I expect Gaston's got very one tyre as well. And it is indeed a second then, only 4.5 seconds. I lost 1.8 seconds in that middle sector, or 1 second in that middle sector really. But looking on the mini-map, looks like Ownage, Gaston's going to be able to stay quite heavily ahead of Ownage there. Then I'll take a few victory swerves then as we come up to the line for lap 27 to 27. I take another win then of this season at Suzuka in Japan. And you can see that in the end it was 3.7 seconds, so I effectively lost, what's that? Oh, just over about 2.5 seconds then in that final lap alone. That's a lot of time, isn't it? So more like 2 seconds actually. So a lot of time though in the one lap. So, but I did manage to make it to the end, and you see Ownage there did get a penalty. That does get removed, so he does actually finish in 3rd position there. And that was making contact with someone he let through in the end, so no problem with removing that at all. As we now have a look at the championship table then. So awesome result from Gaston, must be said once again there. He's had a 1st and a 2nd place in his first 2 races of the league, so very good results there. And I take another win then, which enables me to grow my gap even further on Ownage, now out to 32 points ahead of him then, after his disconnection in the last race, of course. And so what's that now? That's, well, over a race win, isn't it? A race win and a 1st and 2nd place. So I can disconnect once and let him win, and then finish 2nd, and then we'll win even points. So finish 2nd to him, we'll win even points then. So just 4 rounds rather left to go, so not far at all. So hopefully then, with India next, of course, hopefully I can maintain this gap to the end now, and I will be able to win it 1 round early then, which would be good to be able to become a double AOR World Champion. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.